5 minutes helping you to turn from an amateur to a pro. This is also a summary of book 2 and 3 of Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art. It is a must read if you're an artist, entrepreneur, or just want to live a fulfilling life and have your own pursuits. But if you do not want to read the book, do not worry. That's why you're here. Stick to the end and let's get into it. My biggest takeaway about turning pro is really the identity and mindset shift. Now, most of us are too focused on the results, on the circumstances. I will do this when. I will do that when. Now, here's the thing. Circumstances change because your inner being change and your the actions that you're taking change, and then that leads to a change in circumstances, right? So that's the hierarchy of be, do, have. And that's how pros understand this, and they have to decide that I am a pro, and then they start taking action from that place, and then their circumstances will change. Their results, money will come, everything else will come, right? So it's really about consistency. Now here's the thing, consistency is so much easier when you love this, when you love writing, creating videos, when you love dancing, whatever pursuits that you are going after. So Stephen Pressfield says, put your ass where your heart is. And I resonate so much with this because it makes this putting in the reps so much easier. If you love to write, put your ass down in the chair and write. If you love to dance, put your ass in the studio. If you love to play the piano, put your ass down on the piano bench. But here's the thing. A lot of times we find it still very difficult, despite our passion and enthusiasm and love for this thing, is really because we need to see the circumstances to match with our identity. We are not strong enough in our belief, so we need external validation to confirm our belief. And sure, some of it comes from childhood, right? Some of it is because our parents are not validating enough. Now, if you are like me, were raised by very strict helicopter overbearing parents, I want to share this quote with you. Carl Jung says, the greatest burden a child can have is the unlived life of the parents. Now, I also want you to know this quote from Stephen Pressfield, okay? I believe I said it in part 1 of my video. So the gap between the life you're living right now and the life that you have not lived, that's where resistance is. Now, when these two quotes combine together, you have to understand that if your parents have not achieved what they wanted to achieve, or they've not lived the life that they wanted to live, they will project that frustration, that unsatisfaction onto you. So it's really not about you. If you had a lot of criticism growing up, like me, you gotta understand, most likely it's because your parents were projecting that part of them onto you, okay? So remember, that's part of healing, but you don't have to wait until you're healed to start doing this. You just need to know that if that little nasty voice comes up, it is not about you. You are still a pro, even if you're not making money, even if you're not making sales, even if you're not getting any external validation or recognition. But you have to start matching action with your new identity to see the results. Personally, for me, a very helpful tip for me to stay consistent is to focus on the feeling afterwards. Remember the feeling when you have a good sweaty workout at the gym and you feel so good? It's the same thing. If you write, if you dance, if you sing after a practice session, you feel like you're on top of the world. That is the feeling, that is the joy, that is the fulfillment that we are aiming to achieve. Now, resistance is that little nasty voice that sounds in your head before you are about to take action. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, this is too much work. Oh, that is too much. You are good for nothing. You are not going to, all those chatter. So remember, the difference is really the mind chatter versus the feeling. The feelings come from your gut. It's part of your body. It's part of your being. And that is your compass. So if you focus on the feeling that you're going to have after you do what you set out to do, you are more likely to be consistent day in and day out. And that's how you turn into a pro. If you like my videos, do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and stay tuned for more.